All right, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to Den. Shout out to all you lovely people. Shout out to all you lovely people out there, man. I hope y'all are doing good. It's Saturday, September the 2nd. Right, September is the best month out of the year if you weren't informed. If you don't know, well, now you know. But this is Den. I don't know what Den stands for. Discussing everything naturally. Discussing everything niggardly. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I'm your host, Ed Honcho, man. I'm glad that you're here. It's my honor, my privilege, and my pleasure to get to chop it up with you guys anytime we get the chance. But like I said, things are going to be changing. We're going to get back on schedule here this upcoming week. And, get the Den back to the way the Den used to be. Well, let's see who we have joining us this evening to talk about tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is, do modern men and modern women, or modern men and modern women even compatible with women? I know the body acting a little crazy. I'll get that fixed up. And what I mean by that, not just compatible, of course, people can hook up, people can fuck. It's nothing. That's biological. I don't think that matters. But what I'm talking about is long-term relationships. Right? Talking about, actually, hold on one second. Somebody said it doesn't rain in Southern California. I heard that's not true. All right. Okay, all right. Let's stop the shenanigans and stop the tomfoolery. Let's get to it. So, again, let's see what we got doing this, and then we're going to get into the nice conversation. Because I don't think people can have relationships, or relationships don't last like they used to, right? I'm going to tell you what's going on with that. I'm going to tell you some different views behind that. And then we'll open up the Den line. We'll take some calls. Because I definitely want to know what you think. And again, shout out to the fellas last night, man. You guys had some great calls last night. Just a bunch of different views. When we got to the Discord too, some very interesting conversations. And actually, this is where this tonight's topic stems from. Was after last night's stream, we got the Discord. It was, like I say, a very good conversation. Let me see what the bot is doubling up. Give me just a second. I think I know why. But we were talking about some things, and this question was presented by Miss Michelle. Again, she accused me of skipping out on the job. But I thought it was a very good question. I figured, hey, we should present that to the Den folk and see what they feel. Just got a part. Y'all know I'll be doing stuff live, probably troubleshooting before the streams, but hey, this is real life. Like on that episode of Martin, we don't need no umbilical cord, Tommy. This is TV. This is what we have to give me a second. I'm gonna cut the bot off for a second, then we'll come back to it because I don't know why she's acting real special needs. Right? Oh. All right, my apologies for having the music up still. Hey, look, man, play as fuck up. And it's Saturday night, right? So I'm sitting tight. So I hope you guys have your beverage. I hope you guys are pre-rolled if that is your thing. But hopefully the bot... Motherfucker is strong. All right, let's see who's in this motherfucker. And I'm cussing a lot. I've been sipping just a little. What if they start giving out tickets for streaming under the influence? You could hurt somebody. I'm just gonna let that to you, Broderick. All right. Let's see. M5. What's the motherfucking deal? Miss Bell, lovely Miss Bell joining us this evening. Lovely Miss D the Gamma joining us this evening. The lovely matriarch Miss K Grace joining us this evening. Always good to see you, Miss Grace. So, Lise, let's see who calls in tonight. Will it be a repeat of last night? We have some good calls tonight. I hope that we do. Illusion, what's the motherfucking deal? Great conversation with Mr. Illusion last night. Dre, what's the motherfucking deal? Michelle, how are you doing this evening? You know what? I ain't even giving you. I'm taking the credit back since you're in there talking shit. Vincent, what's the motherfucking deal? Good to see you, Mr. Vincent Bryson. And if I missed you, I ain't dissed you, Broderick. And 335 in the building. So, yeah. I don't know. Does it look up? I'm gonna be honest. My lighting setup right now is not up to par. So it just Mark Poole. Okay. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's always good when the Den folk reunite. Toast to you. Cassie, how you doing this evening? Yeah, you know, I'm a Moor or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, let's get to the conversation. You know, I get into the chat and I start getting lost. And if you're not in the chat, make sure you're in the chat, not top chat, but live chat, because the chat is where it's at. That's like a third of the greatness of the den. I think 1/3 is probably the calls, 1/3 is probably the chat, and the other third is probably me rambling nonsensically for anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes before we get this thing started. Anyway, but I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you guys are here. But compatibility, you know, modern men and modern women. This is why I say this, because I think people who have old school values, they don't fall in this category. So somebody's gonna come and say, well, you know, I don't think like this because, well, whoop-de-doo to fucking you. We're not talking about you. We're talking about modern-minded men and women. And I don't even know where you would classify that, because I think that can range. I mean, it can range anywhere from 20 to 60, because there are some people who may be older in age but more progressive in mind, right? So they may feel like, you know, the new way of things is more suitable for them. I personally believe that there are a lot of issues with that, but I can see why people, you know, don't want to necessarily operate traditionally. You know, a man had a household, and you know the woman stays home, takes care of the kids. There's many reasons why that might not work. Shit, I mean, shit is high. Inflation's running rampant. I mean, everything is more expensive now, significantly more expensive now than it was maybe the beginning of the year, maybe 6 months before that, a year or two ago. I definitely know ground turkey is much higher. But anyway, I say these things because if you guys get on the internet at all, if you're on any of these social media platforms, you see it. You see the men complaining about the way modern women operate, the women complaining about the way modern men operate. Modern men, you know, they're not gentlemen and they're not chivalrous and they don't, you know, do this, that, and the third. Modern men, hey, well, you bitches kill chivalry. And how can you expect this? You know, you've altered your place in society. You want to be independent, but yet you still want these other things. So how are we supposed to operate, you know? And again, everybody's complaining, right? Well, I want 6 feet, 6 figures, and 6 inches, I guess. I don't know. 6-pack, something. And he's over here, well, I just want a bitch that's going to be submissive. I just want a bitch that's going to get with the program so we can do something. Well, I want a man who's going to, you know, I'm going to take control of his finances if he has 6 figures. I'm going to level him up even though I don't have 6 figures myself. And he says, I don't want to do all that. I just want a bitch that we can chill and have a good family with and not get caught up in all this weird stuff. And it's just like this clash, right? It's this clash. But I think when we talk about modern men as well, yeah, they want 60 when it comes to that. And there's a lot of things, right? And I mean, I could really sit here and we can talk about the pros and cons of the modern man's beliefs and what's wrong with his belief system. And we could sure as shit definitely find the flaws in the modern woman's belief system, right? I mean, I don't think that takes any time to break down. But again, there's flaws in both. But yet, you wonder, do we do we still want each other? And I don't say we, because I don't think I have a modern man mentality, right? I'm kind of traditional values, old school, even though I'm not, a family man or anything like that. But I believe there's certain structure to things. I think there's a certain order to things in the universe. There's a certain order to things. There's biologically, there's a reason that these things are going on. But what people don't account for is how technology has changed the way we operate as humans, how certain things have made it safe for people to feel a certain way, to think a certain way, because they're protected by society's rules, or like I say, modern technology. We talk about modern medicine, birth control, and how that has an impact on selection and things like that. But we don't. We're not going to get that nuanced into it. But I want to know your guys. Like I ain't from fucking Texas. I want to know y'all's opinion. That bothers me. That's a pet peeve of mine, right? That is a pet peeve of mine. If you from the South and don't say y'all, I don't trust you, right? I have questions about your heritage, right? I got a lot of questions about your heritage. But whoa. I thought I saw something. Delta Echo Golf, what's the motherfucking deal? I thought I saw something. Okay. First name, what's the motherfucking deal? All right. Y'all, yeah, y'all. And now, if you're not from the South, I don't expect you to say it. I don't expect you people, you all. That's what I say. So we just ahead of the game, right? We took out all that extra wordage, all those extra letters. Y'all niggas is tripping. You feel me? You all niggas are tripping. No, it don't work like that. Anyway, y'all know I get off topic. I will deviate, and I've made a very, very strong drink here. So, getting back to what we're saying is that, are we compatible? Do we want to be compatible? How much further is it going to go, right? Because you just hear complaints about the modern man, about just from men and women, period. But it seems more so today that the men don't want the women of today, and the women of today don't want the men of today, right? What's going to fix that? I have a couple of ideas. I have a couple of thoughts. But I like to take calls on things because, maybe something I say may encompass a thought that you have, right? Or let me do it like this. Let me say it like this. Even if I do say something that encompasses a thought that you have, still call in, because you may have a different perspective. You may have a thought that may bring enlightenment to somebody else. Maybe the way I put it doesn't sound the same, but I do believe that there will be a change, because when the reckoning comes, we'll call it, because there's going to be those who were in the chat last night will understand. No pun intended, but if you weren't there, you won't get it. But there's going to be a big correction, right? There's going to be a huge correction coming to America, the West as a whole. And I don't think a lot of people realize it, because we're caught up in the entertainment, the bullshit, and the nonsense. But when that correction comes, well, there's going to be a lot of people looking for some guidance, and there will be no guidance to be given, if you understand what I'm saying. So I was watching this video. I don't remember the video. Professor Trill. No, I don't even have anything negative to say about you today, Professor Trill. I listen to a lot of your old calls, and I appreciate you for being a member of the Den. Get you some rest. But something's gonna happen. I can't remember who sent. It might have been Trill, or maybe somebody sent me the video. All right. If I'm giving credit to the wrong person, I apologize. Say, hey, nigga, I sent the video. Give me my damn credit. But it was a video of these women who, I don't know where and what region of the world, I don't remember, right? Not a very rich region. But they have this festival where basically the women have to choose the men, right? and they let the dudes go off, take off running, and the women chased them down. Like I don't know if they have to like, I don't know how you pin them down like a wrestling move, but they're allowed to get their friends and family to help them catch the man that they want, right? And if they catch him, I don't know if you gotta, I don't know if they gotta drag him across the line. I don't know how the shit works, right? I didn't get the full detail. I didn't study the rule book. You had to catch a man festival. I didn't follow all that, but the thing about it is that I find that very interesting. They went to talk about how it's kind of a poor country, so labor is necessary, and we know who's getting used for labor. Um, it's crazy, right? Because I think they said that you can have the you can end up having multiple wives. I think if like another chick catches them or some shit. I don't. Whatever, right? But it seems terrible for the man. It's like you just imagine if you're just not that athletically gifted, right? And you just you know you just get caught by some old Wanda Shanae looking bitch. This is your wife now. Like this is your wife now, right? Like if you've ever had like a stalker or something, like you ever had that like a somebody had like a crush on you in high school or junior high that you were not very fond of. You know what I'm saying? And they made it very known, and you tried your best to ignore it. Like imagine that person caught you, right? Like imagine if they all they had to do was just catch you, like drag you across some fish. Like they did you like a caveman, bloop, hit you across the head. But no, like all they had to do was catch you and drag you across some type of barrier. I don't even know the rules, and you had to be with them for life, for life. Jay man, Jay Bell, what's the motherfucking deal, man? It was Trill. All right, I give Trill his credit. But like imagine some shit like that, bro. Imagine like think about I want you just really seriously. I want you to think about the worst person that you've ever known to have a crush on you, and all they had to do was catch. Like, were they athletically superior to you? Did they have a fair chance? They have friends and family, they could, and then all they had to do was bag you. Like, and she made it known. Oh, it's such a terrible thing. Such a terrible thing. Anyway, I am getting way off track, but you got to see those women see the value in men because they're in a society where there's not a lot of opulence. It's not America where you're getting flued out and hopping on jets and doing all these things. And again, I blame social media. I blame a lot of shit. I blame the access to people. Right? It's a beautiful thing, but it's a terrible thing at the same time because depending on what your intentions are, it can go right or wrong. Right? Because it's good to network to be able to click a button and talk to somebody all the way across on the other side of the world. Like that's an amazing thing, right? Like remember, motherfuckers was excited when they had like cans and string. Could you imagine what they would see if they came back? No, what is? My God, by gosh, what is this? They wouldn't even know how to hit the keyboard. They probably kick the shit. They'd be afraid to be some. This is sorcery. By gosh, what is this? You're on the screen. I'm looking at you. How are you here? This is magic. He's in a magic box. It'd be some crazy shit. Like, could you imagine some shit like that? Yeah, I'm a little more than under the influence. Don't judge me. All right, it's fucking Saturday night. I gotta live a little. But anyway, right? So, of the obese lady bunches of Space Jam 11s. Oh, well, instead of running, I might have to moonwalk. It depends. I don't know. Um, I don't even want to think about that. But like I said, but they understand the value of man because they're in a place where resources are few and far between. It takes work to survive, right? So you're gonna want to try to get the best man you can. Um, we're in a country now where there's so much access to everything. Everything is so easy. Everything is so convenient that the I don't want to say the need of men is not there. It's not apparent, right? Because women need men to do everything, right? Like society is it all the physical thing. Like, come on, man, because like if you're from the city, right? If you're from Houston or whatever city you're from, I want you to take some time. We're doing visualizations tonight, and I'm gonna put a poll up in a second. We need to do some karaoke soon, right? We need to do karaoke, but like it has to have a twist to it. We need to bring back karaoke. We haven't done karaoke in a while. We need to karaoke with a twist to it, and we'll figure that out. But it'll probably be the Discord. I think Discord karaoke is the best. It's the most fun. Drinking water. water, right? But think about it, right? Because even when a man acts up, who do you get to go correct that man's behavior? Correct is the word of the day today. Who do you go get to correct that man's behavior? Another man, right? That's what it is. Or, you know, pretty much. Like I say, if you're gonna go get the laws, you're gonna go get whatever. But imagine this: we're visualizing the day, right? We're visualizing getting in your car. No, 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 no. Not even getting in your car. We're not gonna start there. We're waking up and we're getting out of bed. Just had a good night's rest. You wiggle your toes, you know, you can get up, go do your morning routine, wash your face, brush your teeth. Some of y'all brush your hair, comb your hair. Some of y'all put wigs on. I don't know how it works. Put on your makeup. Whatever you may do, right? You're getting your coffee, your morning coffee, maybe you're eating some cereal, you know. And time to go to work, you get out, you go and get in the car, close your door, and you back out of your garage, right? You drive down the street. Now I want you to imagine this street that you're on, filled with nice houses, as you're leaving out your neighborhood. Now to get to work, you got to cross a bridge, okay? A nice sized bridge. There's nothing wrong with this bridge other than this bridge was made entirely by women. The planning, the labor, from the rooter to the tutor. How confident do you feel about driving on this bridge? Does it change your opinion of the bridge at all? I'd like to know your thoughts, right? All right. So while y'all are driving on your virtual bridge, I'm going to get ready to open up the line. I have to do what I did again last night, which is go get the damn headset, which I forgot. And also, I'm drinking tea, Broderick. While y'all discuss the bridge in the chat, give me just a moment. So honestly, did the fact that the bridge was being made by women, did that change your view of the bridge at all in any way, form, or fashion? Give me a second. I'm getting booted up. We're finna get booted up. We're finna get the lines up. We're finna talk some shit. We're gonna see if y'all gonna call. And I know people are like, Hunter, you're a damn messiah. I just do this to fuck with y'all, especially the ladies, right? Because y'all get so riled up for nothing. But I love y'all. Y'all are greatly appreciated. The world would not be the same without each and every one of you. Make sure you hit the like button, please. It'd be greatly appreciated. I thank you. Ooh, excuse me. Pardon me. And let me see which way sounds better. I like that. I think that sounds a little bit better. Actually, I have no idea because I can't even hear it. I'm just talking into the mic. I'm just saying stuff. Why do y'all listen to me? Why do y'all listen to me? I just be up here saying shit. Stop listening to me. All right. Let me put the thing up. We get the line going. But I want to know. We want to talk compatibility. Like the modern man and the modern woman. Are they compatible? Like, what do you think is going on? What is having the largest impact on the modern relationship? Why don't people want to stay together? And I kind of have this other thought. Are people shifting to a new way of living? Because it's no longer the I want to find that one and just be with that one. Now it's like people are okay with saying, I'm probably just only going to be with this person for a little while. I have no intentions of a permanent relationship. Maybe a few years, maybe 5 to 10, who knows? But it's like people are already pre-planning to break up. You know what I mean? That people don't have that old traditional view of, hey, we're in it for the long haul. Why is that? Why is that changed? Right? Let me jot this down. And I'm going to open the line just shortly. You guys hold your britches. Hold your bridges. Look, I tell y'all, I'm corny as shit, and I don't give a shit. Right? I embrace it. I fucking love it. Actually, I laugh at my own jokes. I would be a terrible comedian because I think comedians who laugh at their own jokes are bad comedians, right? But I do this shit all the fucking time. I do it all the time. All right, All right. So, why aren't people compatible anymore? What's going on? What is happening that is causing people to not believe in the traditional relationship anymore? Lease instead of, yeah, exactly. All right, I'm about to put the number up right now. Blick it. 832-464-4555. You want to call into the den line. Chop it up with your boy Ed Honcho. Who's going to be the first on the line this evening? We're talking about, are modern men and modern women compatible? What has changed? What has deviated? Where have we flipped the script from the traditional views? What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening? So, Lise, 2 nights in a row. How you doing this evening, bro? Okay. Okay, good deal. So you were properly prepared for the deal. You know what? If I could stream outside looking at the moon, that would be very ideal. I got this fake ass sunset behind me. That's not gonna cut it. But all right. So what's on your mind this evening, man? How do you feel? Why aren't relationships compatible like they used to be? Uh, you said social media? Hold on. Oh, I think I flipped it. Hold on 1 second. I think I flipped the wrong thing. I'm trying to switch it up. My bad. All right. Players fuck up, y'all. It happens. All right. Hello? Okay, my bad. Yeah, I switched up, took the wrong call. All right, my bad. But you said you feel like social media is fucking up the game. Hold on, police. My bad. Look, y'all. If y'all don't understand by now, god damn it, it's the damn den. All right, so if y'all don't come to expect me to fuck something up at least on the first call, maybe 2 or 3 things, then y'all ain't properly prepared. That's why I tell y'all, make yourselves a drink, roll y'all something up, because yeah, so y'all know I don't know these technologies. I don't even know where my damn deal is. Hold on. Oh, wow, there we go. Okay. All right, my bad. Now, what were you saying there, Mr. Solis?
Oh no, I was just saying like we live in a different era, right? So when you have social media and you could literally hit up a famous person just through a DM and they could respond back, fly you out. You could have the time of your life, right? This is mostly for like I guess for women to wealthier men or men that have more success at a younger age, I guess, right?
Mm.
Or even like middle aged men could do this still too, because there's even marriages that I know that the women are unhappy with their marriage, even though the man can make 6 figures on social media. What they're seeing, they're feeling like that's not what they're getting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though they have a comfortable life, like literally a comfortable life. And I think that's a facade. Like, I think people don't realize that everything is like what you put on the internet or like on social media in general is like what you want people to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just right. You want to see them in that light or whatever. And I think people don't understand that. I think people get very depressed. Like there was a study, I think Adam Silver said it like about a few years back about the NBA players. The younger players are more depressed than ever
Yeah.
coming into the league when they should be more happy because of the phone. I mean, when you going through social media, you feel like people are doing better than you. It's going to change your perception on life.
Yeah.
So I feel like that plays a part. I mean, also like, would you have like rappers? These stories of rappers dogging girls out, flying them. It could be for a rat to themselves, just flying them out, get dogged out for they can come back and just,
Yeah.
the rapper act like nothing ever happened. We live in a very big hookup culture.
See, I blame
I think also,
y'all for listening to these damn rappers. See, if y'all wouldn't be listening to these rappers, they wouldn't have no money. Be flying all the bitches out, and the hoes couldn't be getting slutted out. They couldn't be getting flued out and slewed out and threwed out. So shit, I'm just saying, y'all stop listening to this damn rap music. The rappers can't fly your girls out no more. Now the athletes, that's on y'all. Y'all might have to stop watching sports and shit too. So y'all making it easy for these motherfuckers. So they ain't got to put no work in. Anyway.
yeah. Well, even going on that point bro, about rap, like I haven't listened to new rap since I honestly got out of high school, and that was about 6 years ago, man.
Yeah.
And I haven't really listened to new music, but I hear the music on like social media still, like get like Sexy Red, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Ice Spice. It's just I thought what paved the way, I guess, way before when I was in high school to where it is now. It's kind of wild to see. It's just a progression of how sex is kind of running the world right now, especially exposed. I guess feeling like getting exposed to kids too, but that's a different topic.
Yeah.
But I feel like men, like modern men, I could take. I don't know about modern women, but I could say modern men. Like I feel like most of us feel like we're being attacked. Like I know people pursue that. Watch Andrew Tate, watch such and fit, and I'm just like, why do you watch these guys? Like, as a man, I feel like you should march to be your own drum. You should take advice from people, but you shouldn't like end all be all, like try to be like somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like me and you bullshit like on here, but I'm not gonna take like some serious advice from someone on here type thing. I might hear the story, I'm like, oh damn, see the perspective on something, but I'm not gonna do exactly what this person did. Fuck that.
Yeah.
It's a copycat mentality.
I agree. Yeah, you should use things as an idea. I wouldn't say a blueprint, but just as something to base your own ideas off of. Hey, okay, it's possible. This is how he did it, but I'm gonna do it a little bit like this. But yeah, people, they kind of worship these characters. But again, I blame it all on. I won't blame it all on one thing. There's a lot of different things, but a huge deal with that is all of the situation we have with families these days. When we're leaving women to run the household, you got a lot of these young dudes who don't have any real male role models, so they gravitate to anything that they perceive as what they're supposed to be. And again, some of it can be helpful. I'm not saying that it doesn't have a place, but yeah, some of these people take it far. They end up worshiping these people. Like it can get a little ridiculous.
I will. Speaking on that topic about about that, so I feel like men now is like there's kind of like a extra macho culture, I guess, because they feel like masculinity is getting taken down, like toxic masculinity is a bad thing or whatever. And also, like, going back to the rap culture, it's getting, I wouldn't say it's getting as bad as the 90s and stuff, but I live in a town of like 25,000 people,
Yeah.
and there's already been 4 murders within the past year, and it's not even the end of the year yet. And for a town with 25,000 people, you really look at that's a lot of murders. And with the last 2 years, there's been about 10 bodies over here whether they've been murders or bodies recovered.
That's the funny thing too.
Well, you been smart, huh?
That's the funny thing when people talk about murders and things like that, because what you got to realize is, if a motherfucker can't find a body, it doesn't go down as a murder. Doesn't mean that somebody ain't gone. There's not something to put a tally in the statistics column, but that
Oh
I
yeah.
think people discount the impact. I think you said the missing person is almost as likely They're gonna go in the murder column, but because they never recover a body, you can't call it a murder. But my bad.
But
Good job. Carry on.
I would say, but most of the murders that have happened here, all the the people that have done it are less than 25 years old or younger. They're like my peers.
Do you think there's a
And so
problem with the younger generation?
oh yeah, I feel like that is. I mean, most of us ain't raised by men. So like you said, most of us are raised by women. I feel like the nuclear family is definitely a pivotal point in this point in time. I think it's going to be we're going through a culture shock now. If you really think about it, if you see like the stuff that they're pushing about like 1% agenda about the ABC community and shit like that, like it's kind of real. They're trying to push that shit. Also, how they're trying to push it on minorities. Like when I go and watch TV and stuff, and I see a black man or I see a Hispanic gay man, or I go on the commercials, they're showing minority transgenders and stuff. I think they're trying to push that on us. I tell my girl that I think it's kind of like subliminal.
I think that
Even though the majority of transgenders are probably Caucasian.
I think that what you got to realize is, well, not you, but I'm just saying people have to realize is marketers, the people who make these commercials, they do these things for a reason. They don't just go out there willy-nilly and just pick anybody and put any character in these commercials. They don't just say anything. Marketers do a shit ton of research for the products and shit that they push. So when you see a certain demographic or a certain type of person in a commercial, they are absolutely on purpose there. You know what I mean? So there's a reason they're targeting a certain group. So, yeah.
But I feel like also that all plays back on your phone. You're paying attention to your phone so much, and you thinking this is all real and stuff. But when you look up, you take a picture in the real world, like that shit's not really affecting. Like I said this the other day, like the world's still ran by human dicks. Like you can't tell me it's not right now. What? Because there's some woman in power. Hey, well, who do you think put them in there? So I don't know. I think it's we live in a very we have a lot of information given to us, but it's a lot of also false narratives or false information given out to us too. Even the whole term. This is going a little bit different topic, but I'm just using this as an example, right? Let's say the definition of a vaccine. How they're switching that over the years and stuff, and whether that's part of the cultural agenda, who knows, right? Well, you do see signs of something stirring up, and whether in 10 years from now we'll see the effects. Like I said, it took me 6 years to see the effects of rap music from when the Kodak Blacks came out, or 21 Savage first came out. The people that kind of quote unquote little Uzis, shift the cultural rap to new school rap. And you see it to where now we're becoming the pioneers. So you see what's happening actual generation. Like I said, man, most of my peers right now in my area, have been doing the killings. They ain't been killing people like our age. They've been killing 30-year-old men, 50-year-old men over little disputes. No. I won't even say we live in a gang culture right now. Like it's not like the 90s. I feel like it's more like it's drug culture. You pop a perk, you get on one, you feel like you fucking Hercules, you Superman, and you want to kill something. You just feel like you're the man. I feel like that's the mentality of what a man is to my younger generation.
Is that what perkies do to you? I don't even know what the motherfuckers do to you. I hear all kind of different reactions. They make you power up. They make you Hulk up. That's what they do.
I'm just giving that an example, Honcho. Don't come and ask me questions like that.
I don't know. I'm curious. Like, 'cause I hear all the rappers talking about, I'm popping perkies. I'm like, y'all niggas is doing drugs. Like, why?
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna say I did it, man. I'll just use a big example.
No. I'm not implying you at all. I'm just saying you may have, knowledge of someone nearby who may engage that kind of behavior.
When you live in a more like this, man. When you live in more like urban or like ran down low areas, you're gonna be encountered with drug culture. You're gonna be encountered in certain situations you may not be in if you were living in the suburbs or people like that.
I think suburban people do all the drugs.
So I think, but yeah, I think now it's more of a drug culture. Like it's not even like I won't even say like kids that like gang banging my age are really on gang shit. It's more like drug shit, man. You just you know, I just feel like that's how it is now.
Do you think
I
it can
don't,
be
I
corrected?
could be wrong in different areas. I think uh, I don't know. Can drugs be corrected? Like I think that's gonna be an everlasting problem. But I think it's whether or not how you educate the younger generation about it. I think education is a big thing. I think that we're not really getting educated, man. I feel like yeah, we have technology at the tip of our finger, but how many people are really using that to look up like shit to find something out?
Right.
People are more misinformed now than ever. About you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, you read in the comments about something, you see how many misinformed people are. Like people think that. Let's for example, people think that indigenous servants were slaves, and that's big misinformation right there. That's
Definitely a
they
difference.
weren't slaves. Like I had a coworker tell me that and I'm not gonna go ahead and say my political opinions at work. I'm making motherfucking money. I don't really give a fuck, but I knew inside my head that was kind of a wrong statement to make, and I'm not gonna educate someone on that. But I just think people are misinformed.
Yeah, I would
Like
definitely say.
we have the technology at the key of our hand, but people are still misinformed.
Yeah, I mean, but and that's the kind of thing that I always question, right? Because I always looked at it like when I was young, I had this thirst for knowledge. I just wanted to know everything. And I imagine like if I had a Google or some shit like that in my palms, I would probably, you know, I'd probably I'd probably break Google somehow, some way because I would want to know as much as I could possibly know about everything. But nowadays, they say the kids they don't give a fuck about shit. They just looking up how to do stupid shit, how to do whatever prank or whatever thing is going on, whatever dumb shit, how to copy what everybody else is doing, some goofy ass trend or some shit like that. People want to be followers. Like people really want to like go out and just do whatever everybody else is doing. Like that's why I got to be proud of. Like people are like you should do this and you should do that. You should do this because they work. Like I get it. I know these things work, but it's just like I don't wanna. You don't want to do the follow thing, but you people who are like that. But again, it's like this desperation for attention, like you said, the drugs. It's just it's a lot of everything, and you don't want to say, oh, it's worse now than it's ever been because kind of it may be true, maybe not true. Who knows? I think that the roast has always been fucked up. We just got more access to the news
I
of it.
think it's more open now than it's ever been, right? You have states like Oregon who make it all legal to do drugs. You got marijuana being legal and shit. You got like we got over here, we got it's a THCA store or whatever, right? It's not fully THC, but they're bypassing it somehow through Texas, loopholes and shit like that to still give you psychoactive shit or even the edibles and shit like that. You know, I think now it's just more open, right? Especially with the weed thing. I'm not saying weed's a gateway drug. I fucking smoke weed. I feel like I'm successful right now where I'm doing, bro. But I don't think that has me career wise. But I do say though it does open you more aware that there's other shit out there because you get people you start smoking weed, going to parties and shit, you get introduced to pills, coke, other shit like that.
Yeah, I think in the sense when people say weed is a gateway drug, I don't think it's the way they necessarily mean it or understand it. Kind of like what you said. You start off smoking a little weed, and people are like, oh, this motherfucker's cool. They're more willing to introduce you to these other things, like you said. Hey, oh, you smoke weed, cool. You fuck with this, or you fuck with that, or you fuck with this. So it's a gateway to being able to access other drugs more than I'm smoking weed now. I'm doing all these other drugs. I know a lot of people who smoke weed never done shit else. You know what I'm saying? And so it is kind of what it is. But just mentioned so much, I figured I'd join you. I fire mine up. But yeah, I mean, it's just like it's a different world because, like I said, when I was coming up, and we've kind of got a little off track of the topic, but you know, people didn't. Rap was different. I don't know. Even saying it was good. It was just different. You know. Now it's like
Well, I
all
think
crash
I
dummy
I
shit.
think we're on the same topic, but obviously this all affects like modern culture, right? Because you have to understand modern culture is quote unquote part of black culture now. Like that shit is hip.
Oh,
Let's keep it a buck. Like
we're gonna talk about that. I got a topic specifically about that. You know,
you
because
know,
yeah,
like
black culture is
let's keep it a
commercialized,
buck.
fully
Black,
commercialized.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the thing to do now, and so you know, and I'm happy, you know, I could admit that shit, and just because I've been immersed with it at such a young age,
Yeah.
it's true. It's fact. It's like it's the American way, you know. You know, it is American, but you know, it's you have to represent the culture. You have to, you know, speak out for the culture. I feel like at the very least, know where it came from.
Yeah, it's and that's a whole thing. Like I say, we gonna I'm gonna save that for another topic. 'Cause I got a lot to dig in on that specifically when we talk about for the culture. Oh, man, it's trust me. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save my views on that for another time.
For
Okay,
sure, but
all right. Well, do you have any other thoughts
uh,
on the compatibility issues between the modern man and woman?
uh, I think I think men overthink women. Like it's still like an illusion to them. Or I think also most men now, modern men, are antisocial. You're on the phone all the time. So how do we really talk to someone in person? You fucking style, you shop, etc. You know how to fucking talk. I think people need to go out more. I think if people went out more,
Yeah,
relationships wouldn't be as
uh,
complicated as they are.
yeah, I think so too. I think
That's all
people.
I gotta say.
I agree. If people would live instead of living through other people online, we'd be a lot different. It'd be a lot different, you know. But a lot of people ain't living, but it is what it is.
But alrighty, man. I'll let someone else get to calling. Sure, it was good talking to you, man.
All right, you too, Miss Solis. It's good to hear from you, man. All right, I know somebody else has been trying to call in, so my apologies. I'm over here opening up programs and shit that I don't need. Look, pardon me. But yeah, we got. I have. Oh, I don't know this. We got. I got. Whenever we get things on track, I got plenty of topics for us. Well, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
This is Miss Grace.
The lovely
Okay.
Mrs. Grace. How are you doing this evening, Miss Grace?
Yep, and they said last night you don't call us lovely. Yes, you do.
See, I'll tell you. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, last night when I woke up and you all hit me with that question, I mean, I just woke up, I couldn't think, but I thought about it a bit more, and I can't imagine this new modern generation living compatibly, especially if they're 30 or under. And the reason why I say that is because they have so many choices. You know, during our time or anyone over that age, it was easier. Our jumping start was, I like P, you know, I like D, you like P. We start from there. But now, to get to know each other, it's like, I like P, well, I like D, and I like P, and then I'm a bottom, and then I'm a top. I mean, there's so many other things to think about.
Oh no. Oh goodness.
No, really, there's too many things to think about. You know, ours was easy. It's just I like D, you like P, and boom, we start from there. You know, but all of this other stuff, I can't even keep up with it, and that's why I can't even hardly go out in public because I'm going to misgender somebody, get sued if I go back to the school. Something's going to happen because it's hard for me to keep up, and I don't even want to try. You know, but some people, if they're a little bit older, they may be able to live compatible lives if they agree on the trade-off. You know, because some women don't mind if a man is a workaholic and he's never in the house or hardly ever in the house and he's just bringing home all of that money. You mean so that she can live the comfortable life that she wants to live so that she can show off? You mean that's a trade-off. You know what I mean? And she looks good for it. If they're both happy with that trade-off, then They can be, and it doesn't mean that they're totally happy or that they even enjoy each other. You know, some people live that way. But here in America right now, that's getting more and more difficult. And if you guys want to sit there and get married and have a relationship with someone, you're either going to have to get somebody very old school or you're going to have to get a foreign woman.
Yeah.
Because here in America, it's not working. You know, too many things. You know, and then these women, you mean they don't want to be subservient because if they're working women, they don't want the man leading. Okay, you're making money, well, so am I. So why am I going to let you lead? Plus, I'm going to, as quiet as is kept, a lot of men are not good leaders. You know what I mean? So why would I want to follow someone off a bridge? Because they're not good leaders. They mismanage money. They do dumb shit. You know what I mean? And a lot of that does go on. Lots of times in marriages, you mean I see the women handle the finances. Even if the man makes more money, the women handle the finances and keep everything in order. You mean all the doctor's appointments, the kids, they do all of that. The men don't normally handle all of that. You know, so why would I want to follow somebody that's not a good leader, or why would any woman? But lots of women that I do know, I told you I know a lot of wonderful women. But women will settle with a man that's a lot less than what they are just to have one because they don't want to be alone. He doesn't have to be good looking. You mean, first off, he's got a job, they'll take him. If the sex is good, they'll take him. And if he's got swag, they'll take him. Where these women are a whole lot more than that, but they will settle for a man that's a lot less than they are. I hardly ever see a man that's way more than a woman. I don't.
Absolutely.
You know, and I know married women, they're a lot more than the men that they're with. And if we don't, and you've heard some of the dead women say it, if we don't settle for a little lesser man, we'll never have one.
Do you think men settle, Miss Grace?
Do men settle? I think women settle more than men do.
Why do you think that is?
Because women are much more nurturing, and a woman could pick up a raggedy man and dust them off and clean them up and make him out of something. You hardly ever hear about a man picking up a bad woman and dusting her off. You're like that what was that movie with Julia Roberts, Pretty Woman? You mean, that really ever happens. Okay. You know, if you see something like that happening, it mostly happens that a woman will take a lesser man or a poorer man and do something with him because they have more compassion. You know, I don't know about these modern ones. I'm not talking about them because they're all about the money. And they're all about the look. And they're all about impressing everybody else.
I don't know. I think men do it. I think men do it a lot more, but it's just not talked about because it's expected. Because a man will date a woman. A man could have a great job, make a lot of money. He'll date the chick that works at McDonald's, but it's expected. Nobody will say anything. But if you reverse the role, say a woman has a 6-figure job, and she dates a guy that works at McDonald's, her friend group, her associates, everybody around her will make a big kerfluffle about it. It'll be news. It'll be a thing. And so people will make a huge deal about it. I think men do it quite often, but again, like I say, it's just overlooked because it's expected. So, I mean, I think, women do it as well, but like I said, I believe men do it more.
Well, if he's making all this money and he dates a woman that works at McDonald's, you better believe she's fly.
Yeah.
She's not the average-looking woman. She's got something. She's got a devastating body. She's really pretty. She's really nice. All of those other things. She just doesn't have a high job. They'll take that. But if she's not a good-looking woman or anything like that there, and she doesn't have they probably wouldn't.
Do you think it would be
because
the same?
men like eye candy.
Well, what about let's take a CEO. Would it be acceptable for her to date a man that didn't have a job as long as he was extremely attractive?
I wouldn't, but where would she get the money? But some women will do it. Because they want it, and you know what he does, and not that he's just attractive. if the man, like I said, has some swag, or if the sex is good, they will take him. They will. I told you how years back my friends and I were going out to a club in Boston, and they were all talking about, yeah, I need a big this, I need this many inches, this, that. No, what do you need? And I said, I need a handyman. They all looked at me like, like, shut up.
That's funny.
Because he doesn't have to be the biggest thing. For me, he doesn't have to have a lot of money. You just have to have some money to contribute. At least the amount that I want. The best I can do is go halves on some things. Especially at my age, I can go halves on some things, or they pay a lot. But I've dated, I dated an attorney, and 3 engineers, and they were all so boring.
Mm.
You want someone that's exciting some kind of way, and they were so boring. They were just too straight-laced, And women don't like boring. Mm-hmm. If he's boring, he better have loads and loads of money, and they'll probably cheat on him.
Mm.
They will. Women like swag. Come on, ladies.
Mm-hmm.
They want some swag. They want some money. They want the sex to be good. You want to be able to enjoy them. That's the key. If they're boring, how can you enjoy them? It doesn't matter how many expensive restaurants they take you on to, how many vacations they take you on, how much money they spend on you. If they're boring, you're not enjoying them. You sit in the restaurant, you don't even want to look at them across the table. You put your head down and you'll start eating, and your elbows will come up for air, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. All right, I have a question. Who do you feel like asks more out of a relationship, men or women?
I think, let's see, men.
Really?
And you'll probably say women. Mm-hmm. Men, because the first thing they want to know, can you cook? We don't ask them, can you build a house?
Oh, that is not compared. That is not apples to apples. That is.
It's traditional. It's old-fashioned. A lot of these guys want old-fashioned, traditional women, but they don't want to be old-fashioned, traditional men. Mm-hmm. If that's what you want, then you better be that too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So.
And if you can't be that, I'm sorry, you got to go.
Okay. So, do you think that things will ever go back to how things were traditionally as a whole, not for individuals, but as a whole, or do you think that things are too far gone?
I think they're too far gone, and I hope that they can go back. But I don't see how. Unless they sit there and tear the world down so badly, that we have to build it back up, and people will naturally go into their roles that God intended. That's it. You've got to break it all the way down and start again. Other than that, I really don't see it, Hanjo, and it's really sad to me. And I feel for you young people.
And I think I have to agree with what Illusion said. That being able to cook is comparable to being able to change brakes. A house, what is it that a woman could do that is the equivalent of building out? We're talking about a permanent shelter.
Okay. He can build a permanent shelter. Not only does she cook, she cooks and cleans, she runs the household, she takes care of the kids, she makes sure that everybody gets their doctor's appointment, including him. That's all a part of it. Women handle all of those things.
Would it be cheaper to get a maid and an accountant?
But they won't. How many men do you know that have maids and accountants? What, Kevin Samuels? I told you all before that Kevin Samuels did not believe everything he was saying. He was an entertainer, and that's what he was doing. And look, he talked about big fat women, and he died right on top of a fat girl.
Hey,
She was beautiful. She was gorgeous. She was good. And he picked her up the night before. He didn't believe all of that. You know what I mean? He was just talking. He was an entertainer. He was making money. That's all.
He like a man is gonna be a man. And you said she was. I don't. I've never seen what she looked like. Hey, if she's attractive,
she was gorgeous.
Big girls need love too. Hey,
yeah.
The
no,
den is
I don't
built
see
on the
anything
back
wrong
of
with
big
it.
girls.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything wrong with it. A big juicy, but he talked like he didn't like them, and that's what he was with. Like I told you, I learned a very long time ago. A man will sit there and fuck a keyhole if he thinks nobody's looking.
A keyhole.
He talked about fat girls. He talked about fat girls. He talked about picking up girls. He talked about all of those things. How much you weigh? What size do you take? All of that. You got to take care. You got to be high value. Well, that nigga was not high value if he stepped in high blood pressure, and he was so sickly that he died just trying to have sex. That's not high value.
Hey, maybe it was some real good stuff going on.
And I'm not happy that he died. Because he was a good entertainer. And some people are really happy that man passed away. I'm not. He was an entertainer, but I did not believe all of that stuff that he was selling.
Yeah, like
He
I
was
said,
full of it.
But I don't believe it was for everybody. I mean, I think there was a demographic who wanted, but then there's also a group of people who will do anything for validation and attention. And he presented a platform that made people want to crave that, and they put themselves out there for it. So I mean,
yeah, he was an entertainer. That's what he was doing. But he didn't live that kind of life, and he died that way. He died the opposite of what he said. He did.
I think he went out a soldier in the field. I think the way most of us would want to go, shit, hey, I'd rather go out that way than in a car crash or some other shit. Anyway,
and they said he was living in an apartment that wasn't even under his name. He wasn't living the way he was talking.
Ain't nothing
He
wrong
wasn't.
with that. You gotta keep it playing.
And no, there's nothing wrong with it. But don't say it if you're not living it. You're just perpetrating if you are. That's all to it. Don't lie.
What?
But he couldn't because he was an entertainer. He couldn't. He was an entertainer. That's what he had to put out there.
What?
But if he was making that kind of money and he had those suits and things, he could have lived the way he was saying if he really wanted to.
Yeah, I put that
He
name
could
in
have.
the chat.
What name?
Because I guess they've been googling the chick. And,
Oh, she's pretty.
Yeah, I need to see her.
She was a big girl, but she was pretty. She was gorgeous.
Let me just do a Google verification. This is for verification purposes only. Y'all don't be
Okay.
judging me. I'm just, I just want to, I'm just trying to see what's going on.
Did anybody else see her? Just type in, Felice, just type in the woman that was with Kevin Samuels when he died. She was a very beautiful woman.
Oh, there it is. Let's see.
You see her? She was a big sexy.
Oh, she don't look too big in this picture.
She was a big girl. She wasn't a size 4 or 0 or even 6. She looked like she might have been 11, 12,
Oh, that's not bad.
13, 14. Well, no, that's big enough. But he would never like a girl that size because he thought that the little girls were so cute and dainty.
But did he ever say that, or did he just say, I know guys or the people that I'm with, or that this is the average? I don't recall him ever saying I would never date a woman who looks like this. And again, I didn't watch all of his stuff.
No, but what he did was he dogged them out, like they weren't good enough for him. That's how he was. He was mean.
Was he mean? I don't think he was mean. I think
that man was mean. Yeah, you can be honest with people, but you don't have to be so mean about it. He was mean.
Yeah, I feel like with certain people you gotta have and especially with the demographic. Let's be honest. Let's be straight. Let's be honest with it, because you're talking about the main demographic that he was dealing with is black women, right? And in every other avenue of the world, we see black women get ultra catered to. And it's always with kids' love. It's always ultra soft and everything. From all the political shit to, and everything. I think that's just the one avenue where somebody was telling black women something honestly, and other women came on there too. But in comparison, because black women mainly compare themselves to other black women and feel like there's nothing else going on out there.
Right.
So what he did was present a view as like, hey, look, this is you versus the world. That's like kind of when I talk about people saying, oh, she's a 10. Well, yeah, she might be a 10 in the hood, but you got to think a 10 is a 10 in the entire world. You know, you have to expand your view. And that's all he was doing, in my opinion. He was expanding people who look, hey, you want a guy that's doing this? Well, these are the numbers. These are the odds. Yeah, it happens, but it's not happening frequently. And that's all he was just giving women a view of reality. Because you had a lot of women. You have more women out here saying crazy stuff. Oh, I'm Lizzo size and I'm going to get me a millionaire and I deserve. You and I both know, Miss Grace, that a man who has access to anything he wants, he's going to pick something a little bit more attractive. He may not be a perfect model, but if it comes down to a Lizzo versus I don't know, any other celebrity average size woman, it's going to be that. At least if he might be fucking on a Lizzo in the background and not telling anybody, it might be his thing. But what he's going to present, what he's going to associate with and hang out with and do whatever else, he's going to present something else. But so, I mean, all I think he was doing was giving them a reality, because we know women like to treat women. So, oh, girl, you fine and you okay. He's like, hey, look, this is what's really going on. And people ask for that. And that's my view. That's the way I see it.
You're right. But I have heard him, you mean, dog when two girls were on the phone and he dogged about the other one because she was big and fat, had this weight, she needed to lose weight, she needed to put that food down, this, that, and other. He talked that way to them. He was mean. I thought he was mean. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I didn't think he was a nice-looking guy. He was all right. He looked nice and groomed, but that was it. He looked boring. He didn't have swag for Miss Grace. You know, because I still dig swag. You mean young swag, older swag? When I was younger, young swag. Now some swag. You mean, but don't be walking around like your freaking feet hurt and all that other bullshit and like a little nerd in the square. That's it. No, a lot of women like swag, and swaggy guys can get the girls.
I'm gonna have to take a class so I can learn a little bit.
You have swag. You have a different kind of swag. You have swag that I don't even think you know you have. You have the gift. You have the gift of gab to even have a show like this here. Look at the people that you attract and things. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you naturally have it. You don't look like some little nerd, like, do, I'm going to go build me a little plastic airplane or something. Like a Poindexter or something. That's so boring.
Well, I appreciate that. That's good. I would hope not, because that'd be a bad deal.
And you're intelligent, and you got swag. You know, there were some guys, like I told you, the attorney that I dated, and I told you who he was, one of the lead attorneys for that runner, where her husband told on her that she was shooting up steroids or something to run fast or whatever.
Oh, shit.
What was her name? Her husband did the same thing she did. They ran, and he ratted her out.
Who was that? Around what time frame? What round? When was that? Well, not Jackie Joyner. I know who y'all talking about.
Well, he was one of the main attorneys there. You know what I mean? And so one day my daughter had the television. Richard Nichols, he's on TV, and there he was, and they were interviewing him, and she was sitting beside him. You know, he was a high-powered attorney. You know what I mean? And he went to Dartmouth College in Hanover, New Hampshire. So I went there, and then when I went to California, then he sent for my daughter and me to go to San Francisco, because then he was going to Stanford there. You know, nice, boring. The three engineers, nice, boring. Okay, guys, don't be boring, and girls, don't be boring either.
That's true. It goes both ways. Absolutely.
It does. It does. It does. You know. So you have any other questions? This is the first time you asked me so many questions.
I don't think I have any other questions, but I definitely appreciate you answering them.
Okay, thank you so much, and I'll let somebody else call.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Grace. You have a wonderful evening. I appreciate you calling
me.
Okay,
you too, yeah. Yep, bye-bye.
Shout out to Ms. Grace. I love Ms. Grace. Oh, man. I think it's about to get real interesting. I think it's about to get very interesting. I think, what's What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, what's up, Poncho? It's all an illusion.
Illusion. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Man, I'm great. I am well.
Man.
It's nice to know that it doesn't change regardless of what generation they're coming from. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing, Miss Grace. Kinda.
Good grief, let me put this down. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. All right. So, tonight's topic is modern man, modern women are having compatibility issues. What do you think is the big issue that's causing that, and do you think it can be resolved?
Well, I think we're seeing the chat is showing us pretty good tonight what the issue is, right? Because you got that dude, and anything I say about anybody in the chat is just my opinion. I'm sure Honcho might have a different opinion, but like you got that archangel person going in on Miss Grace, calling her all kinds of old this and old that. And then you got Miss Grace on the phone and saying what her opinion of, what women contribute versus what men contribute. And of course, her being a woman, she's going to assume that women are contributing more. And then when you have somebody who's angry at women, they're going to basically dog them out for having that kind of opinion. When really it's the same opinion that men have about themselves.
Yeah.
So to me, what's contributing to it is that we've been pressed against one another. Like men and women have been pressed to beef with one another.
Yeah.
And all by design, right? Like, no, bitch. You're less of a bitch if you have kids, bitch. Because I'm your best friend, bitch. You know how these girls talk to each other?
Yeah.
But then if a man's like, whoa, if that job stresses you out so much, why are you going to work? Why don't you get a different job? But they rather go with the, yeah, bitch, you need 4 degrees, bitch. And then men feel like they're entitled to something that they haven't earned. Like, there's a lot of dudes that don't know how to take care of themselves, much less sustain themselves, their women, and whatever children might come from those women. But they want to talk about traditional women. And that, I was kind of surprised by Miss Grace a little bit, because she was talking about if a dude has a job or swag or good dick, then he'll do, whether it's temporary or whatever. But somehow we're going to equate cooking to building a house. How about if you keep your legs closed until you meet me? Not one man has ever been in it, and you can build me a true house with a solid foundation. There's no extra little swimmers in that raggedy ass shit that could influence my children's DNA. Then I'll build you a house. And people have completely lost sight of that. As if casual sex is okay.
That is very interesting. But it's been glorified. It's been promoted. Everywhere you look, it's encouraged. Like you said, don't have kids. People are encouraged to cheat. It's in the music. Everything. It's permeating every aspect of society. We're encouraged to engage in these type of behaviors.
Yeah, and it's real shit. I wish we could get a real solid number on how many people are engaging in that regularly with themselves. Because then that's a whole nother issue that we have. Because dudes who, like, watch a lot of porn, I bet when they hear something like what Miss Gray said, about if he can put it on her, and then have like a couple females in the chat confirm that information, and all they've ever seen is some dude with some like, my bad, man. And I'm at work. I'm not even nowhere we should be hearing all this.
Very good. No worries.
But to get that information confirmed by other women, and if all they're really ever, the 99.9% of their interactions with sex is watching some dude with like a numbing cream drug on his shit, just going to Pound Town with a foot long, that's going to create a complex within their mind. When, in all actuality, if women can say, I don't know, I know that at 36, I'm way better than I was at 16. So that kind of thing could be learned. That shouldn't be something that would be necessary for the beginning of a relationship, because you shouldn't be ran through yet either.
What do you think is an excessive number?
Like a body count for a woman?
Yes.
2? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Like, in all honesty, in like a perfect world, that's probably the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
Because any dude who has sowed his oats knows whenever he's been with a chick that didn't have a high body count, because she acts completely different afterward. You get with a chick that has a high body count, if she liked it, you'll hear from her again, and if she didn't, you won't. A chick with a low body count might fuck around and stalk you. But just for given the conditions that we live in, like, anything north of 5 is a problem.
That's good. So, a couple of things were said in the last call. We saw the chat kind of get stirred up. Do you think that women are wrong for feeling this way, or do modern men need to adjust?
What was the one about women? I heard do modern men need to adjust?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, are women wrong for now feeling the way they do? Because, I mean, they have, a lot more rights, a lot more freedoms, a lot more access to things. So they feel men maybe not or not as valuable as they once were. Are they wrong for feeling that way?
Yeah. Yeah. Men do need to adjust, but women are wrong for feeling that way because, like, somebody in their first name said men are, and they might have been trolling, I don't know, but there are people that feel this way. Said that men are no longer necessary because the bridges are all built. Do you know how dense you got to be to think they're not going to need maintenance or that they'll last forever? You got to be kind of like stuck in 8th grade. Like first time you put on some fucking lip gloss or something. But men, the way that men need to adjust is we talked about it last night, stop entertaining hoes. Because whether they know it or not, they seek the acceptance and the admiration of a man.
Yeah.
They may try to pretend they don't. Oh, I do this for myself. They're looking for attention from men. So, like, if they have to behave a certain way to receive that attention, that'll be what repairs that.
Yeah, I don't. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be real tough. I don't think. I mean, it works. It works. I mean, I guess it has to get to a point where I guess you've seen so much you become numb to it. Maybe men just start naturally ignoring them, you know. But it's like I've been there, done that, seen that. But then again, I don't think so because it's always new to somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Men got to stop thinking with their dicks, man. Like, I don't know if semen retention is really as beneficial as they say it is.
Yeah.
But just the concept of discipline that comes along with it is something that I think every man, even men in relationships, should be practicing. If you can get yourself to a point where you could give it to your woman and not nut, you have reached a level of discipline that very few men will ever reach. And your woman is going to look at you like something's wrong with her. No, baby, nothing's wrong with you, but you'll never be able to get her to believe that. And then as you start demonstrating what it is you want from your woman, you're more than likely going to get it taking that approach. But if you just like make her listen to Fresh and Fit all day, she's just going to go hard.
You're a very wise man, Mr. Illusion. You know, I meant to tell you that yesterday. Very, very wise man. Y'all have to pay attention. Y'all might not agree with everything that Mr. Illusion says, but he's a very, very intelligent gentleman, very wise gentleman, wise beyond his years. But yeah, semen retention is a very, very interesting thing. I believe it works. I believe that it does. It does have benefits, and especially like you said, you know, even at the very least, the discipline that it takes. You know what I mean? I think that you have to gain some level of willpower. So yeah, so y'all agree. That's what I mean. Y'all want the man. See, look at you in the comments. Y'all want the man's life force. That's all it is. Y'all agree. Y'all try to take everything from the damn man. Can't let it be. If you get yours, why do you have to have the icing on the cake? As long as you get yours, right? It's all about y'all. As long as you get yours, why does that matter? Because you want to feel like you did a good job. Is that why? I don't know. But yeah, my bad. Go ahead, Mr. Illusion.
No, but you're right though. I can't see the chat, but you're right though. And the reason I'm speaking about it is because of my own experience with it. And once I was able to do that, I felt like there wasn't anything I couldn't do. And then having to break that down to her the exact way that you just did, like, look, do you have any clue what I had to do to be able to make sure I didn't go and you did? How can you say it's a you problem? This is actually something I want to do.
Very, very interesting. I can definitely tell that, by the way you described the situation, that this is definitely a first-hand knowledge thing. It's funny because you said some things almost verbatim. That's very funny. Oh man, that's extremely funny. Yeah, I mean, it just kind of is what it is. We can't save everybody. And the thing is, as long as you have the right mindset, I guess you just got to look out for you and yours, because I feel like this shit is just too far gone. I don't feel like there's no coming back. In mass, like I think, there'll be pockets of people who benefit, but no. It's gonna be
a lot of people are going to have to go for sure. Mm-hmm. And that's just the nature of the beast. And that's, like I was saying last night in the Discord, just let the power go out. Let it go out. It don't even have to be that long. Men who have been focusing on themselves, because as they focus on themselves, men love in a way that I think women do not understand. Like, we're able to provide tough love. We're able to be romantic if we're in a safe space to do so, that we don't feel like we're going to look dumb later. We're able to just love purely. And women love differently, especially in today's circumstances. So if a man is taking care of himself, that means he's taking care of everything he loves at the same time. So men that have been actually doing that are kind of ready for something like, at least spiritually, if anything, for a power outage. Because I don't think people understand the concept of what that looks like. No power. Fuck your candles. Fuck your 100 rounds. Fuck your dry food. You don't have no power. You do everything based on electricity. So when the power goes out for a month and a half, a lot of this shit is going to be weeded out.
I try to warn people that it can't last forever. I mean, all the signs are there. You know, I mean, it's inevitable. It might not be this next month. It might not be this next year, but it's coming very soon. It's there's going to be an event in our lifetimes that people are not prepared for. And I agree with you. I think that's going to be the thing that weeds people out. And when people see what is truly necessary, when all the frivolous, when all the luxuries, when all the conveniences are removed, and you have to get back to bare bones life, I think then people will start to realize some things. As people will look and say, "Man, I definitely made some regrettable decisions," and you will not be able to correct them. You know, we live in a society that allows one group of us to kind of get away with everything without any form of punishment. But I think when that happens, you will definitely be punished. But I think that's a different conversation.
Well, because you're going to have to go through it through your mind mentally. You're going to have to go through all the decisions that led you to the situation that you were in.
But every one of those DMs y'all left on red, all them good dudes who just...
Or the ones you didn't.
Yeah, oh, well, yeah.
The ones where you took off on that on that person that was actually down for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but, you gotta enjoy it now. Enjoy the fluid outs. Enjoy the likes. Enjoy the... I don't know. Whatever else comes with it. The trips to Dubai.
Getting pissed on.
Well, yeah.
Having all kinds of mood swings and shit that you don't understand because you let random DNA go inside of you. And then, but it's the same problem with a lot of, it's not the same problem, but like dudes get caught up thinking that that's the only way that you end up, being able to bag whatever woman it is that you want is to idolize the next man. When I think all Miss Grace was saying, if she was able to enter the mind of a man, she basically said that a confident man is an acceptable partner.
Yeah.
And no man is more confident than when he is fully himself. Whether he's making 50 or no man is better than being confident fully in himself. Whether he's making 50 grand a year, 150 grand a year, 50 million a year, if that confidence level has dropped, the behavior is going to make the woman biologically want to flee in some way, shape, or form. That's also an issue with men, too. Like, some dudes do like big women, but the reason why that's not like the norm, it's a biological thing. Like, your brain is wired to procreate, and it knows that if you're going to lay with a woman, that there's a possibility that you're going to create another life. And if you're bringing into a child in with a woman that cannot have enough discipline to not kill herself slowly by eating, your brain might shut that off. Like, no, not attractive.
I had never thought about it like that.
That's just, I don't know. I've gathered so much information. I feel like I know so much, I know nothing. Because everything I'm saying is just my opinion.
Yeah. Do you feel like that when the more you learn, the more you realize that how much you don't know?
Yeah, absolutely. And then it comes off as you know everything. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to explain why I don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
But neither do you.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't have any further questions. You have any further thoughts on the divide between the modern man and the modern woman?
No, but it was cool for this to come up tonight because it really showed, like, even Kevin Samuels, you know what I mean? Like, dudes feel like they got a cape for Kevin Samuels, and women feel like, oh, yeah, he was, like, kind of right sometimes, but he's still a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because he made fun of the fat bitch. So fuck him.
Yeah. I mean, is he worse for making fun of her, or are they worse for lying to her about things? You know, I just feel like everybody should be entitled to sing all perspectives, and you make a decision from there on what you do. So I don't think there's any hard and fast rules about any of it, but, you know.
I completely agree. And he did, like, for his viewership, he was clearly catering to men. But what I respect about him more than a dude like Andrew Tate, for example, I'm not sure he really was, like, trying to pimp men. Because a lot of, like I said last night, a lot of those dudes like that, those he-man woman haters, are just pimping men. Oh, yeah, fuck these bitches, do these sit-ups, get this money, and sign up for my course.
Yeah.
Like, this shit is in every book that is in existence about who you truly are. You could go find this for yourself.
That's very funny. That is very funny. Say modern men want accolades for the old generation of men's work. I agree. I agree with that. I can agree with that first name. I think people are like that as a whole, though. I don't think it's just men. I think, you know, you've got a lot of modern women who want credit for the behaviors of, you know, more traditional women. They feel like they deserve the respect of more traditional women when they've stepped in the role of more traditional men, you know. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's where your equality comes into play. And if you engage in those behaviors, you act a certain way, people are going to treat you a certain way. I mean, it is kind of what it is, but I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. But these lights will go out soon, Honcho.
Oh yeah.
These bars will be banging your door down.
I don't know, they will not. They will not. Honcho, no go. No. I won't be no habla inglés. All that good stuff. Oh, man. But
That's it, bro.
Okay, all right. Well, that's been Mr. Illusion, man. I appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts with us this evening, sir.
For sure. I'll talk to you later, Honcho.
All right, cool. Sit back.
Later.
You have a good evening. Shout out to Mr. Illusion, man. Always a good conversation. If you like engaging conversations, and it's a lot of shit I don't even be knowing what's going on, but I like to hear about it because, like I said, those things. I always keep my mind open to possibility. You know, I'm not gonna get into it here. You know, we get into discords after the stream. We used to do Supernatural Saturdays in here, where we just kind of talk about more off-brand shit, on some old coast-to-coast shit. I think we should have a conversation the Discord this evening. Just just about something a little different. I won't say conspiracy theories, I guess, so that's not even a term. But we're gonna have an interesting conversation in the Discord tonight. Let me see. Um, any credit from modern women? What credit would you like, Michelle? Because I mean, the whole United States got bad credit right now. Women do the bulk of the shopping, so. I mean, I don't. I mean, here's my deal, and don't get me wrong, right? These are my views, but I also see things. I see things in a broad perspective. That's why I enjoy talking to a wide array of people because I can understand where people are coming from. I can understand why people feel the way they do, and I can empathize with it. But I still hold my own personal views. You know what I mean? Yeah, we will be in Discord. You know, matter of fact, let me put the link in there now for those who don't know. We slide in the Discord after the stream. That way, so say, you know, some of the callers you may have heard will be in the Discord in the voice chat. You're like, hey, I was in the chat and you said something and I want to tell you. You can do that in the Discord. If you're afraid to call in on the line and you just say, hey, look, I'm gonna charge them up in the Discord because I have some opinions about the things that they were saying. Well, you have the opportunity. Let's just do this. Fuck that. That doesn't work. Nope. All right, cool. You know, you can do that. So I'll put the link for the Discord in there in just a second. Because that's kind of I guess that's really the other third of the deal. It's like calls are a third, the chat is a third, and then the Discord. The Discord plays a major role because that's where people actually get to engage in conversation. Sometimes people don't want to get on live and they don't want to call in, but they feel more comfortable in Discord where, you know, it's not a recorded conversation and, you know, it's just people able to talk freely. If y'all don't know what the Den is, if you're new to this, free speech is encouraged in the Den. Your opinions are appreciated in the Den. Whether I agree with you, whether I disagree with you, whether the chat agrees with you, disagrees with the Den folk, if you don't know, agree with you or not. Views are valued. You know, your views may be challenged, they may be questioned, but it's always a beautiful thing to be able to provide somebody insight into a way of life they may not have ever seen. That's one of the the things I enjoy most about the Den is being able to, you know, talk to somebody who's lived a life I may have never lived or live in a part of the country I, you know, don't know much about, and they can give me in-depth knowledge about shit I would have never known unless I went out there and hung out. And I probably still wouldn't know even if I went on vacation because, you know, this is insider knowledge. The connections that have been built, the Den is a beautiful thing. And I know some of y'all will love about the sauce, aren't you? The sauce is a beautiful thing too, baby. That's a different thing. Hold up. Let me put that link in there. Bliggity. But and I agree. You know, what's gonna happen with people, you know, more than likely when you speak to women, women are gonna value what women do because they see it through a female lens. Men are gonna value what men do because they're gonna see it through the male lens. So when I ask questions, is he caressing? No, I ask questions to get people to open up to provide more perspective into something. It's not that I disagree with what you're saying. It's not that oh no, that's terrible. I'm like, okay, that's different. I may see it different, but it's like I ask questions because one, I have questions because I'm like, well, why do you see it that way? And two, to allow the people who are listening or maybe watching, maybe in the chat talking shit or whatever, to see inside, you know, someone's mind. And that's what this is all about. Because I always wonder, like if I'm out somewhere, I always wonder, what are the people around me thinking? Like, I don't want to be the guy, you know, and this is not to be funny or fucked up, but I don't want to be the guy next to the guy when the thing goes down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not the guy that's making the gun, but the guy who's making the thing go down. And you just don't know. You don't see the signs. You know what I'm saying? Because I think we probably got one or two people in the den, or if at least pass through the den, that are probably capable of making things go down like that. And I hope they don't ever, because that'd be bad. But you get my gist. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, hey, look, we've had some bad opinions come through the DNA. B say we need to talk about bringing Misty and Rashida back. I've told y'all. I've told y'all how I feel. Okay, I've said it many times in the den. So there's that. Yeah, man, it does, because sometimes you see things and you expect the person. I mean, we I say the hardest thing in the world to do is to try to change somebody's opinion. So I don't really try to change people's opinion. Sometimes I'm like yeah, it's not registered. It ain't it ain't connected. Come on, that can't be right. But I don't try to change people's opinion. The hardest thing in the world to do is to change somebody's opinion. Right? I mean, you can't. They have that opinion for a reason. There's an embedded situation or thing that they've occurred that makes them feel that way. So you can't. It's not easy. You can offer people insight. I mean, I've had situations where you can give facts. You can try to finesse and talk nicely. And I mean, and just people just no, it's not. But the den allows you to see why people feel that way. So that's why I ask the questions I ask. So it's not to be overly intrusive. It's not to be any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean. Oh, I definitely have to. I definitely have to. I gotta put y'all's pistachios in the thing. So those of you who participated in the proper posts to get your pistachios, I'll make sure that they're in there, because everybody has to at least show up in the chat. Like, I think if you don't show up in the live, it doesn't register, or the thing. It doesn't start tallying your pistachios. So, there's that. Broderick, you are the Reverend. Why don't you go speak the word, Reverend Brooks? First name, you should call in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why you don't respect the modern. What is it about the modern man that you don't respect? RESPCT. But all I'm saying is, everybody's free to do what they want. And I can understand why most women don't. But here's the problem with all of us. With every single one of us, we have a problem. Myself included, everyone in here has this problem. Some of us have this problem more than others. And the level of this problem that you possess, it could have a significant impact on your life, right? So the problem is we're all addicted to negativity to some point, to some extent, in some way, right? We all embrace it, because when you see negative news, you see negative stories, you see negative situations occur, it catches your attention. You watch it. You feel emotionally stirred by it. You talk about it. You share it. Like, man, look at this fucked up thing. You could see something funny. That's funny. Scroll, or like and scroll. And then you might see a couple of things that are funny. Oh, that's, hey, so-and-so like this, share, whatever. But you see something tragic, something fucked up, you're like, man, this is fucked up. See, call coming in. Well, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
How you doing, brother? This is Angel. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, Angel. How are you?
What's that?
I said, doing well. How are you, Angel?
I'm blessed. I can't complain. I just figured I'd call in for a little bit.
Okay, good. So what are your thoughts? I mean, we talking about modern men and modern women no longer being compatible. What are your thoughts on the topic tonight?
I think that right there is really a result of divisive doctrine, man. I would agree that the brother that called in previously does make a good point that the systems of the powers that be have really weaponized men and women against each other. And today's day and age, you see a large influx of men that will make every excuse not to be men, and also women that will make every excuse not to be women. I see a large problem of we tend to gravitate towards the worst of each other. My brother's not necessarily interested in the, let's say, all the way wholesome women, and then you see a lot of women, and that's part you probably saw in my comments with Miss K or whatever, that I find, we're talking about things such as swag and boring, etc. Life comes with its own monotony. And sometimes to be happy, honestly, and have a long-lasting relationship, we have to learn how to embrace the monotony of life. Those are my points to that situation. So I think why we're not compatible is we're trying to fulfill offices that we are just not meant to fulfill. We don't necessarily need to overthink these things. We just need to get back to men being men and women being women. Just that simple.
So you feel it's a simple solution. Well, what do you think is the first step in making that happen? And the way things are going, do you think that's really possible?
Well, yes and no. I don't know about anybody else's spiritual belief system, but I'm a devout believer in the Most High in the Scriptures. So, a lot of this, what we see, is foretold. However, I do think, there's something that can be done to remedy the situation, at least in some manner, and that's I'm always going to start with the men setting the example. Nowadays, like I said, I think the gentleman that called in earlier was correct in the sense that men thinking with their dick, thinking on a short-term spectrum, thinking simplistically in terms of being primitive in their mindsets and not really vetting the situation. Everything starts with that. I'll tell you this, like my father used to tell me, that a woman is either a vessel for a man's seed, or she's a reflection of what the men in the society allow. And so I do definitely think that it starts with us in terms of setting an example of being leaders, setting these standards. Because if you look at, let's say, the juxtaposition of, modern or Western women compared to the rest of the world, well, those women act that way because of cultural expectations. And then if you look at it, a large part of that starts with the head, the men. They demand respect, they demand accountability, they demand structure, and they demand order. And subsequently, that's what they are looking for out of a woman. Before they necessarily even vet her looks, can she do X, Y, Z? Is she agreeable? Does she listen? These are prerequisites, and these are not negotiables. And see, nowadays men are afraid to have these standards because it's taboo in the society for a man to set any type of standard.
I agree. Now, you said something. You said something very interesting. You said, as your father told you. How big of an impact do you feel that the lack of fathers in homes to help set standards like this is causing this?
Well, I would say everything has been done by intelligent design in the society. That's, let's say, the powers that be, for lack of a better term. That was the plan behind the welfare state in general. See, the welfare state did something chattel slavery could not do, and that is break up the black family. And the truth of the matter is, those who were responsible for it, being our government and their benefactors, had this plan for all of modern society. And if you look at things, all these different social reforms, whatnot, whether it's, let's say, for example, look at this mass influx in young women protesting for the right to abort children. Well, you'll find the black community is always ground zero for all of these things. Like, for instance, that push started with Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood, when she was basically being bankrolled by Bill Gates' grandfather. And the woman was a known Nazi sympathizer and eugenicist. And our people are so undertaught and so misinformed that they don't realize that when they push and they applaud these type of reforms, these type of social issues, that they're really applauding a racist. And so I would say that, having my father to guide me was definitely paramount. Because as you said something, Honcho, when Miss K called in, she's coming from a woman's perspective. which is nothing wrong with that. I don't fault her for that because, well, she's a woman. What I would have faulted is a man coming from that perspective. A man is supposed to be a man regardless. And once again, we are charged as men to set standards. A woman is not the natural giver of the law. A man is. And now when we have changed the framework of our society to say that a woman can do naturally what a man is supposed to be doing, and a man is supposed to do naturally what a woman is supposed to be doing, this is where all these issues arise. That even goes back to the fabric of our homes, that now it's taboo for a man to even be in the home. If, you'll have nowadays, man, whether you be male or female, if you don't have any kids out of wedlock, that people look at you like you're some type of either A, special case, or B, they look at you with jealousy and envy. Whereas any other culture, that is just the expectation.
Okay. I mean, definitely sound well informed and thorough. I don't necessarily have any questions. I don't have too much that I can really say that I'm disagreeing with where you coming from. I mean, do you have any additional input that you would like to share?
No, brother, I just want to call in, give my perspective. I find it a little bit cowardly for me to be active in the comment section but not speak, and then not give anybody a chance to have any counter arguments for my opinions.
Okay. Well, we do a little thing. I don't know if you are able to or not after each stream, because we're going to wrap it up here shortly. We slide, I don't know if you're familiar with Discord, but everybody, we get into a little voice chat. We all actually chop it up. So, if anybody has any direct opinions about anything you said, that gives them the opportunity, address it directly. We address it as a group or whatever it may be. So if you got a chance, man, check it out. Definitely would like to have some deeper discussion with you. You have a chance.
I definitely like to join you tonight, brother, but I'm going to watch a movie with my wife. And I think I'll definitely stay posted for your next live stream and making my business slide into that Discord. I'm very interested in doing that.
I respect that. Well, brother, you and your family, you have a good evening.
Yes, sir. Be blessed.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you. You as well. Shout out to that gentleman. You know what? I think that's a good one to hold it on. We got a couple more minutes. I respect it. So some of y'all be in the chat with the rah-rah and the yah-yah and the hee-hee and the ha-ha. But don't ever call in, though. That's the first time I've seen that brother, and he called in first night. No fear. What y'all gonna do? Anyway, lovely Miss Sarah Lou, how are you doing this evening? Good to see you. Always good to see you. Lovely Miss Jen, how are you doing this evening? Y'all on Colored People's Time this evening. Miss Jen, has anyone ever told you that you were on Colored People's Time? This may be a first. Tonight, you were on Colored People's Time. And I hope y'all are all doing well. I hope that life is treating each and every one of you good. Not planning on streaming tomorrow. I got some things that I'm gonna have to take care of. It may run me a little late, so I'm not planning on streaming tomorrow. Discord is always active, so we need that old Discord energy back. But it's been getting there. A lot of folks been coming back out the woodwork. So those of you who haven't been around in a while, it's good to see y'all. I guess I could get this shit off my ears. It's hot. This light right here in my face is fucking hot too. Driving through the mountains, swinging through the mountains. Hold up, baby. Yeah, the callers definitely. Ball the callers, baby. So maybe we're rocking for Labor Day. Tuesday, definitely. I plan to next week, starting Tuesday, get the Den back onto a regularly scheduled program, at least during the week. So hopefully y'all look forward to that, because I know I do. I got plenty of topics. While we've been sitting here talking, and some of y'all may or may not have realized some of the things I was jotting down, some of the notes I was taking on my phone. I'm trying to. See, I'm weird, right? Because I love technology. I embrace technology. But I don't use technology to its full capacity because as much as I love technology, I don't trust it. I use it with reservation, right? Because I know what is capable, right? That's not what I want to. So you operate with caution with certain things. But I love technology. But you would think that I would do some of the simpler things, as in calendar and bullshit like that on your phone, and use it more often. I do not. I do not. I don't use the fucking phone like I need to. So, and then I'm pointing at the phone like this is the phone. This is empty glass. Phone's over here. But no. So I'm working on putting my notes and things more so on the phone. I'm trying to make that a habit. Doodly 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 doo. What was I gonna say? Discord link. Let me put the Discord link in here for y'all. So make sure you know. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's gonna get to the point where y'all better get used to it, baby. Going back to Nate, I'm trying to tell you, and I say all this stuff. I'm not prepared. I'm not fully prepared. Mentally, I'm aware, right? But there's a level of preparedness. But again, I get to operate differently than most. So, yeah, you know, I'm working the polka dots, so I'm gonna go do the polka. Yeah, I did stop big log out. But I appreciate all of you, Big Ron Ashley. A staple in the den. I don't know if it's a good, maybe a rusty staple, but Big Ron Ashley is definitely a staple in the den. Yeah, man. So I got a lot of topics that we're going to be discussing. So I mean, get ready for that. Get things back on track. Other than that, man, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna slide the Discord. Meet me there. Somebody want to challenge me in some checkers? I will Broderick in checkers last night. He ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't even rubbing it in his face. But I will Broderick in checkers last night. So if we get in the Discord and somebody wants to play me in checkers, because like the Discord got little games in that bitch, I'll be more than willing to beat you in checkers. I can't play chess. I don't know how. I would like to learn. Shannon is a terrible person. You know, I don't know how, but I told myself it's gonna be on my bucket list to learn. So I guess I need to get on that. With that being said, I'm Chunk of the Deuce. I appreciate you. It has been my honor, my privilege, but most of all, it has truly been my pleasure to get to chop it up with you this evening. So I thank y'all for being here. Again, just stay posted. Make sure you're following all the proper social medias. Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram, Ed Honcho HTX on Twitter, Honcho HTX on TikTok. Just go to edhoncho.com. It's got all my little links and stuff on there. Most of them. Whatever. Just go to edhoncho.com. It's the easiest way to go. And all the socials on there. But with that being said, to the moon. What was that? Pow, right in the kisser. Yeah. I'm already in that thing. Well, I'm not in that line. I'm finna be in there. I'm like, y'all know what I do. I just ramble at the end and it just randomly cut off the stream. So this is the point where you should be evacuating the building unless y'all just really want to keep talking to each other in the chat. Because behind the scenes, I'm sliding into the fucking voice chat. And then I'm just going to end the damn, oh, Miss Bell done beat all y'all. Ain't that about her? Yeah, so, with that being said, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. I really, truly do. I'm gone.